Little Tree Acoustic House Concerts is hosting a fundraiser for the Greenwood Cultural Center in Tulsa, Oklahoma, with a concert this Saturday at 7:30 p.m. that Oklahoma time. That's 6:30 in Colorado, where I live. That's 8:30 on the East Coast, and that's 5:30 on the West Coast. Like all the concerts this season, we're doing them online because of the coronavirus. The bad news about that is we're not gathering in a Colorado backyard in the summer as we planned. But the good news is we can expand the circle of people we invite to come to the concert, and that's especially important for the one this Saturday to raise funds for the Greenwood Cultural Center. So originally when we booked this concert, this is Nellie Marie Clay, who lives in Okemah, Oklahoma. We were intending on doing it here in Colorado. And we certainly weren't thinking about making it a fundraiser. But the events that are taking place in our country and have accelerated in the last few weeks has really had us feeling the conviction that we need to show up in solidarity and declare as loud as we can that Black Lives Matter. And immediately Nellie, who's just an hour's drive from the Greenwood district, was aware of the center and the work that they do, and she suggested that we direct our energy towards the center. And as I read about the center's work and I read about the history that they are the torchbearers for, I was horrified to learn of the gaps in my education. I'm a highly educated person, and the fact that I never learned about the events in Greenwood in high school or in college history classes is horrifying to me. And so I'm grateful for the work that the center does, and I'm happy to be supporting their ability to get the word out about the events in Greenwood. So if you've not heard of it, you may have heard of a place that Booker T. Washington referred to as Black Wall Street. That's the Greenwood district. And it's an absolutely inspiring story of self-elevation of people within one short lifetime, just 40 or 50 years from the abolition of slavery, to a place that knew absolute prosperity in the Black community. This is the center of culture and financial independence. It was a 35 city block area that had every service you can imagine. There was wealth from some citizens that was noteworthy. It was a hotbed of jazz. It was the place where Count Basie encountered his first big band experience, if you can imagine that. So that place engendered the envy of the neighboring white community, and with a fabricated provocation that was just used as an excuse to trigger one of the biggest racial massacres, the biggest single event directed at African Americans in the country's history. That was on June 1st, 1921, and it led to the killing of 300 to 3,000 residents of that community in a single day, on that day, and absolutely razing to the ground that 35 city block area. And you can see images on the greenwoodculturalcenter.com webpage of before and after that one day. There were, in current dollars, $40 million worth of insurance claims that were unpaid. And in spite of that, within 4 years, the residents, through sheer will of their own pride and self-determination, rebuilt their city. So this story is important to know for three reasons. One is it's inspiring. It's an inspiring story of uplifting oneself that every American of any color could be proud to know of, that people in their country achieved that. Second, it's the most atrocious single act of domestic terrorism in our country's history, and it's unconscionable that some of us know about it and some of us don't. So it's absolutely something we should all have in our history education. And third is, if we're going to take on the important work that we need to now of healing the racial wounds in this country, we cannot be starting with different histories and different history books. It's just unconscionable. So I am grateful for the work that the Greenwood Cultural Center does. their mission statement. I want to read their mission statement. And it says, to preserve African American heritage and promote positive images of the African American community by providing education and cultural experiences, promoting intercultural exchange, and encouraging cultural tourism. So you can bet that the next time I find myself within a stone's throw of Tulsa, I'm going to be knocking on the doors of Michelle Brown and Bill White. Those are the program coordinator and director of development there at the center. And just to express my gratitude personally, to learn what I can from the center there in that place in Tulsa. And also just to say hello from a new friend that you have out in Colorado that you haven't yet met. So for people who want to participate in the fundraiser, you can go to the link that's a concert link, and you can make a donation without donating to the show. But I hope that you will accept the invitation to consider that the arts are important to us now more than ever, and especially with a lot of these live performers losing all of their gigs and having to scramble to figure out a way just to pay their bills, that this is a time to show up for artists in ways that we can. But also, it's an especially important time for us to have access to the arts. And if we want the arts there to be for us, we have to support them so that they can create the art that inspires and guides us and what we need. So I hope that you will join us for the concert also, in addition to donating to the Greenwood Cultural Center. And that concert will be a concert that we share an unlisted YouTube link. It's going to be pre-recorded, and we're going to enjoy it together and comment in real time with the performer, and then have a Zoom gathering afterwards so we can meet in real time. So I hope I see some people from the center will join us for the Zoom gathering afterwards. If you could make a donation early so we can make sure we get you the information you need so things will run smoothly on Saturday, that would be great. Then again, if there's a protest you need to go to and signs you need to make and marching you need to do, you can always come back and watch the show later asynchronously with us, because that'll be a YouTube link like any YouTube link that you can watch. But I hope you can join us in real time. So that's the reason that we've turned this show into a fundraiser, and I hope you'll support it. It's important work that the Greenwood Cultural Center is doing. There are 2 more videos that I've recorded. One is to introduce you to Nellie Clay and her music, and to tell you more about what the concert is about. That's a second video. And then there's a third one. I just got myself on a roll, and I posted a video of what I thought is the appropriate role for privileged white people like me to stand up as allies, but also to know when to get out of the way. So that third video is just expressing the views informed by my life experience. I would encourage you to look at it. Tell me the things that I got wrong, and let's have a conversation that may enhance all of our understanding. Who knows? So thank you, and please come to the concert on Saturday, and please donate to the Greenwood Cultural Center.